It's very difficult for a guy with the fighting style of Arturo Gatti to go in and outbox a guy who's only been boxing his entire career. That's all Ivan Robinson ever did. He was always noted as a boxer. In the amateurs, in the professional ranks, he's always been a boxer. It was easier for Arturo to outbox Tracy Patterson because both of them were bangers slash boxers. Therefore, he could take another banger and outbox him. But this kid is not a banger. This kid is strictly a boxer, and it would be crazy for Arturo to strictly try to outbox Ivan Robinson. If he goes and does that, he's going to be fighting Ivan Robinson's fight, I think.
Well, and that's what Ivan Robinson believes. He is as confident as any man could be that he's going to do the same thing he did in the first fight. And one thing's for sure, if this bout is any better than its predecessor, it is a lock choice for 1998's Fight of the Year, because Chapter 1 was one we won't forget for a long, long time. August 22, Arturo Gatti and Ivan Robinson battled in that weekend's Fight of the Year. Gatti, enhancing his reputation as the most exciting fighter of the decade, brawled 10 dramatic rounds with the stylish boxer from Philadelphia. And with Thunder Gatti in the ring, we've learned to expect crescendos of drama.
Ivan Robinson with a tremendous start in round number 1.
And here it is, a minute into the fight, and Gatti's left eye is already puffing.
My whole thing was run over there and get respect. And I had to do something to get that edge because I was going in as a 4-1 underdog.
First half of the round has belonged to Robinson. Second half of the round has belonged to Thunder Gatti.
I was kind of got worried a little bit because my mind was telling me to do something, but physically I couldn't do it. Something was missing, but I didn't know what it was.
Robinson just targeting Gatti. Firing combinations and landing punch after punch. Gatti says, give me more.
By the third round, I did feel pretty comfortable. I felt, though, that I had set the tone, and I thought, though, that I was doing whatever it took to be winning the fight so far.
After 3 rounds of spirited warfare, Robinson was clearly ahead on the judges' scorecards. Gatti, left eye now cut and swollen, already needed to make something happen.
Right hand over the top by Gatti.
It is a clear knockdown, and it puts Gatti back in the fight in terms of the scoring.
That's when I knew the fight was changing right there when I heard him. And because I really didn't throw it hard, and he went down.
Robinson stunning Gatti inside. Arturo not throwing. Robinson with a chance for a knockout. Gatti holds on.
Can you believe this guy? Can you believe Gatti?
This is unbelievable.
Every fight, that fight, pretty much, or battles, it's just the way I perform and I fight with my heart.
Honestly, going into the 10th round, I said to myself, the only way Arturo going to win this fight is if he knocked me out.
Gatti again. 44 seconds to go. This would be the miracle of all miracles if he's able to pull it off. Robinson trying to hold. Gatti looking for one big clincher.
I knew I would have trouble finishing him off because I was really tired.
Oh, what drama.
What a fight.
What an unbelievable fight.
Winner by split decision, mighty Ivan Robinson.
The contract called for an immediate rematch, so both men headed back to the gym. Having trained together in the past, these friendly foes have conflicting ideas on why they should do it again.
Ivan's fought at 50% Gatti. He's gonna fight 110% Gatti this time.
Why would he, say I'm only fighting a 50% Arturo? That's just a cop-out. Really, the way I feel in my heart, I love Arturo, but this is personal now.
Robinson, training straight through since September, wants to prove his victory wasn't a fluke. Working with longtime trainer and father figure Butch Cathay, his plan is to follow through with the same strategy that won them the first fight. Box, move, bang. Gatti, on the other hand, made changes in his quest for redemption, moving on to a third trainer in as many fights. He's now entrusted longtime Lou Duva associate Ronnie Shields with the task of refining his kill-or-be-killed style.
When I first started training him, I told him, I said, look, I'm not going to take away from anything that you have been doing because I love everything he does, but we need to work a little bit more on defense. The only thing I want him to think about, I got to move my head and I got to punch behind it and win the fight.
Rarely does the sequel live up to the original, but put together an explosive warrior like Gatti and the Philadelphia throwback like Robinson, and we might find ourselves with a new Fight of the Year.
This rematch is gonna fix everything up this time. I'll be at 100%. People forget about the last fight.
If there was one thing I would say to him, I would tell him I love him and to take this beating like a man.
Tale of the tape for Chapter 2 of Ivan Robinson and Arturo Gatti. You can see they are very similar in age, height, weighed in. Gatti right at the limit, Robinson a pound and a quarter under. Tonight you can see that Ivan has gained 12 and a quarter pounds since the weigh-in, and Arturo has gained 15. 2-inch reach advantage for Robinson. He tries to stick the jab and move. Punch stat numbers, Larry.
And these numbers will tell the story of the first fight. Both threw about the same number of punches. Robinson was more accurate. And that held also for jabs. If Gatti is going to do better, he's got to do better than those numbers with his jab.
Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Thunder Letterman.
The Arturo Gatti Ivan Robinson fight is scheduled for 10 rounds using those unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. Non-title. There's no standing 8 count. No 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell at any round, including the 10th and final round. Jim.
All right, Harold. Arturo Gatti comes out first. Originally a native of Montreal, French and Italian heritage, now lives in northern New Jersey. This is regarded by opposing fighters as his home court, and he gets tremendous crowd support, win or lose, here in Atlantic City.
I ran into a woman an hour or so ago here at the fight. She said, "I love to gamble, but Arturo Gatti is more exciting than gambling."
That's for sure. A man whose 2 consecutive losses have done little to stem his market appeal. 29 wins, 3 losses, including the 2 this year, the Manfredi and Ivan Robinson, an early loss in his career to a cutie named King Solomon. 24 KOs for Gatti. He's had 7 fights that have gone the distance, and he's won 5 of them by decision.
Get your asses out your seat!
And now here comes the mighty Ivan Robinson.
Robinson graduated from the same high school, Simon Gratz in Philadelphia, that produced Mildred Taylor. His wife is a college grad who works in the Head Start program, has 2 young children. And this will be by far his biggest purse tonight. He's earning $400,000. He earned $57,000 in their first fight.
And the record for Ivan Robinson, losses to Philip Holliday and Pito Cardona, those 2 losses back-to-back. Since then, he's unbeaten. Only 10 KOs in 26 fights. He doesn't try to beat you up. He tries to outbox you. But he was much more aggressive than some expected him to be in the first bout against Gatti. And as you watch this upcoming fight, you can log on to www.hbo.com/boxing to chat and score each round of tonight's action. www.hbo.com/boxing. Now let's go to ring announcer Mark Barrow for the pre-fight introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce tonight's main event of the evening, HBO Sports and the world of boxing would like to recognize the passing of yet another legend in our great sport. For 27 years, he graced the ring, 11 years as the light heavyweight champion of the world, and he had as many as 145 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, the sad passing of truly one of the greatest, if not the greatest, the old mongoose, Archie Moore. At this time, we would like to play our traditional 10-bell salute in his memory. Hall of Famer Archie Moore, may he rest in peace. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Mark G. Edis Arena at the Trump Taj Mahal Casino Resort on the Boardwalk in Atlantic City. Main events in association with Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated King of Beers. This Bud's for You presents the HBO main event of the evening, the rematch of the fight of the year. 10 rounds, lightweights. Your judges at ringside, assigned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. From New York City, George Colon. From Trenton, New Jersey, Joe Pasquale. And from Atlantic City, New Jersey, Gene Williams. Your referee for this event, from Sayreville, New Jersey, Benjy Esteves. Introducing now the principals first. In the blue corner to my right, wearing the all-black trunks, weighing in at 135 pounds, with a professional record of 29 victories, 3 defeats. He has 24 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Jersey City, New Jersey, introducing Arturo Thunder Gatti. His opponent in the red corner, wearing the black trunks and the gold trim. He weighs in at 133 3/4 pounds. His professional record, 26 victories, 2 defeats, 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the pride of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, introducing Ivan Mighty Robinson. 10 rounds, lightweights.
Okay, men, doing it again. Again, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch up and good luck to both of you.
Gatti says he hates having to fight from desperation, but this is a desperate fight for him. Will that make a difference?
And already the chant begins in the crowd. Gatti, Gatti, Gatti. His fans have an unequaled passion for their man. Round 1 begins, and as we've already shown you tonight, Gatti is prone to great difficulty with his left eye when properly assaulted by an opponent in round 1. And Robinson sneaks in a jab.
It starts off briskly. Robinson surprised everybody in the first fight by jumping right on Gatti and establishing that he was quicker and willing to mix, but he's a little bit more resourceful right here.
Robinson threw 112 punches in round 1 of the first fight and said yesterday, well, I try to do something a little different at the start of every fight, so you might not see the same thing. Robinson popping his jab, and accurately so early on. Gatti going to the body.
Gatti is boxing him like he said, but he's aggressively boxing him. He can win a fight like this.
Moving his head quite a bit, like right there.
He has to move his head because Robinson is a pinpoint puncher.
Gatti actually slipped a Robinson jab there. I'm not sure he was able to do that in the first fight.
You hear trainers telling fighters to move their heads all the time, Roy. Can you punch while you're moving your head?
Yeah, you can punch while you move your head, but the one thing I like to say about Arturo already is that he showed improvement from that first fight because he made an adjustment already.
But already the redness begins around Arturo's left eye. And after Arturo landed a vicious left-right combination, Robinson came back with one of his own. Now Robinson moving to his left and jabbing as he does, and landing on Arturo's face. Uppercut and a left hand straight by Gatti. Robinson lands a left and a right of his own.
The biggest punch for Gatti to deal with here is Robinson's right uppercut.
Because?
Because he's always wide open for when his hands are spread. The way Gatti holds his hands always allows Arturo Gatti to land that right uppercut on the inside. And last fight, he totally dominated Arturo Gatti with the right uppercut.
Gatti giving a much better account of himself in round 1 tonight. Robinson landing and effective in the first round, but not swarming Gatti the way he did August 22. Arturo looking more energetic with more head movement, and the left hook to the body can be a good weapon for him. And he sneaks in a right hand along the ropes and rallies against Robinson as the seconds tick down in round 1. And here comes the mighty Ivan. They're off to another start. And Robinson smiles at Gatti as he did so frequently 4 months ago. Two sportsmen who like to fight.
Can't stay on the ropes, baby. You have to go to the center. You must go to the center, son.
Okay.
You must.
All right.
You got to jab. Please jab.
Right,
Jab.
they're trying to counter my jab.
Okay. Please worry about it. Don't worry about trying to fight him, Marvin. Don't worry about trying to fight him.
You're supposed to be going. Right. Okay, now what's what? Keep stepping that way. You understand? You started moving your head good, then all of a sudden you just stop. You gotta constantly remind yourself, okay? Now listen to me. Look, move that head, move that head. Keep the pressure on this guy like that. Start throwing more uppercuts when you get in close. As soon as you get in there, let them uppercuts go, okay? And then move that head when you finish. When you finish, punching stuff around the guy.
Here's one of several good combinations that Robinson landed in the first fight. In the first round, excuse me. He's just a faster-handed fighter. Gatti's going to have to fight through that in the hopes of catching him in the second half of the fight.
But while there's some swelling around Gatti's eyes, by no means the kind of difficulty we've seen him experience in so many of his previous bouts. Robinson comes out and starts round 2 with a combination. Gatti fires back a combination of his own. And there's the head movement that you heard Ronnie Shields begging for between rounds, as Arturo is actually able to slip a couple of punches.
Yeah, and Larry's asking, could you punch while moving your head? You're supposed to punch in a rhythm out of that. Once you get your head in that certain rhythm, you punch like he did just then. He went outside and came back with a punch. You bring punches behind the head movement.
Both fighters landed more than 30 blows in round number 1. Gatti's jab connect percentage, 12 out of 36, doesn't sound great. That's better than he did in the first fight.
Can't keep waiting on Robinson. He has to, on Gatti. He has to attack Gatti some. He's letting Gatti bring the fight to him too much now.
Robinson not seizing the initiative tonight the way he did so clearly in the first 3 rounds back on August 22.
Well, I think that's because Gatti was readier for him.
There's that uppercut.
And has been a little bit harder to hit.
Roy Jones told you about Robinson's right hand uppercut and how he tattooed Gatti with it 4 months ago.
Yeah, he has a beautiful right uppercut and a left uppercut. And Gatti has to be careful of both of those punches.
I got you. Nice and easy. Nice and clean. Let's go.
Robinson reaching for the body. He hasn't really done any body work early on. Gatti punished Robinson some to the body in round number 1. Haymaker didn't land for Robinson. Left hook does.
Cut already by Gatti, I think. Yeah, Gatti.
Yep, there's the blood. Left eye again.
That left hook seemed to just scrape Gatti as he moved away. I'm not sure it's dangerous. Well, Gatti knows the fight has started now.
Yep. If he weren't bleeding, you wouldn't be sure he was breathing. Robinson targeting the eye with a right hand haymaker. And a little left uppercut underneath. Gatti coming over the top, trying to land against Ivan. Ivan stepping up the accuracy rate down the stretch in round 2. Quicker hands, Ivan Robinson.
Yeah, very quick hands, Joe. Super fast with his combination.
And showing the confidence of a man who believes that he has found his ideal big fight opponent.
And he has always been good at the big fights. In his career in Philadelphia, he's been booed, but for his big
right
fights,
hand up out of your chest. I want the right
he's been
hand
right
up.
there.
Get it up. Back on the big side. Get it up and go home.
No problem, Doc. No problem.
Now listen to me. Listen. You gotta listen to me.
Open this. Yeah.
Listen to me. Okay, look. Continue going to your right. Continue going to your right, like you're doing, okay? Look, you had the guy very confused. All of a sudden, you just stay right there. What you do as soon as you get in the inside? I told you to throw uppercuts as soon as you get in the inside.
Come on.
Okay, let him work, all right? Let him do his job. Look, as soon as you get in close, throw uppercuts. Okay? As soon as you get in the inside, Arturo, give me some uppercuts, okay? Come on, here, drink.
Punch, baby, punch.
Referee Benjy Esteves is saying that the cut came from a butt.
Good right hand by Robinson and another.
How could you tell? How could you tell if the cut came from a butt in a fight like this against a guy like Gatti? How could you tell?
I don't even know.
Well, it's possible that he saw it. Sometimes we've seen those things happen. I didn't think there was a butt, to tell you the truth.
I didn't either.
Good body shot by both fighters.
Robinson willing to stand and trade with Gatti. Granted, Butch Cathey doesn't want him to do it, but Ivan is so confident, and now Gatti's got him going a little bit.
Ivan does a good job of playing posse, too. Makes you think he's down and out, then he rallies back.
I think Robinson might have gotten dinged a little bit by one of those shots.
He's fine now. But not punching back as Gatti looks for openings, and there's another right hand by Arturo. And a left to the body, and a right to the body. I love the body work, Roy. That's a smart move.
Those are the best punches that Arturo got, though. He has to move his head in close, though, because he does, he's going to get caught with big punches by Robinson. He's standing straight up in front of Robinson. He can't afford to do that.
And there's a hard right hand by Ivan Robinson. Gatti standing there and waiting for the receipt, and Robinson finally giving it to him.
Well, I guess the boxing match is over.
I think it ended in round one.
Remember, it's a non-title fight, so again, it's scheduled for 10 rounds. Ivan Robinson grinning to himself as he evades the Gatti onslaught and goes forward in round 3.
Good jabs by Gatti. Something we didn't see much of in the first fight.
Well, that was one thing he promised, was that he would jab better and work behind it.
And he's been doing a good job of that.
And he's been sneaking in the body shots, too. And Robinson hurts him with a 1-2 in the middle of the ring. And the blood is flowing a little bit again from Gatti's left eye. Well, no more head movement.
This is when Gatti is dangerous. But Robinson was very measured when he came after him right here. Well, this is what everybody came to see, folks.
Oh, man.
Oh, that body shot hurt Gatti bad. That body shot hurt Gatti real bad.
Arturo's almost out of here. Ivan Robinson just doesn't have the power to put him away.
Don't believe that, Jim. He does have the power. He's just not taking his time to set it up. And you have to be careful, because this is the best time for Arturo to put him away, too.
Right hand landed flush on Gatti's cheek. He makes it out of round 3, and Robinson's upset with himself for not having finished him off. 59 out of 100 punches for Ivan Robinson in that round.
Stand your pace. Thank you. Then stand your pace now.
Arturo, listen to me. Look, you're coming up high every time. You gotta, when you finish punching, step around the guy. Come on now. Come on.
Got a hole here. That was a good fucking round, but you let too much happen. Okay? Now let's go in there and take charge of this motherfucker. This guy.
Well, there you can see Robinson working on him. Gatti lost his driver's license a year and a half ago. He's about to get it back, but right now it looks like he's getting hit by a truck.
This is what he loves, Larry.
Comes out and fires twice to the body. Robinson landed 51 of 84 power shots in the preceding round. Harold Letterman, what's your scorecard so far?
3-0, 30-27. Ivan Robinson. Jim, this is the kind of fight that could make you forget Sale Graziano. Incredible fight. Ivan Robinson outboxing him, outpunching him, outmaneuvering him, just beating him in every way. So far, a shutout for Robinson.
That last fight, last round could have been a 10-8 round. But I have the same score as Harold.
Both fighters a little tired in the first minute of round 4.
Yeah, but you can bet that there will be more fireworks.
And you heard Butch Cathay, Robinson's trainer, telling him you let too much happen in that round. I'm sure it was fun, you got a lot done, but don't let it get that wild. Cognizant of what Larry said to you earlier, Gatti's never more dangerous than when he's hurt.
You know, what we haven't given Robinson enough credit for, both tonight, we did in the last fight, is how he's taken the punches.
Yes, he is.
I mean, that's really why he's still here.
He's doing a superb job of taking punches from a big puncher.
Right hand lands flush. Gatti smiles.
Well, as Robinson told us, if you miss him, you have to be trying to.
Come on, let's keep it clean, Alex. Let's keep it clean.
Pointing out to Esteves that his head was being pulled down. Esteves says, don't worry, no point will be deducted.
Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it clean. You all right? Are you okay? All right,
and Robinson's ready to continue.
Let's go. Keep it clean.
Well, you talked about how Ivan likes to play possum, Roy.
He does, and it makes for a very exciting fight. This is what the fans like to see. They like to see it. One guy seems like he's down and out, then to see him come back and triumph again. He's the best at doing this.
Robinson said he wanted to hold his hands a little higher tonight and defend himself a little better. I guess Arturo Gatti is just never going to hold his hands up in the middle of a fight like this.
No, he sure isn't.
That was a terrific left-hand shot by Robinson.
You know, he's also taken those body punches very well, Robinson. He says he has some kind of secret in training that steels himself for body punches.
Wouldn't even tell us what it was. He says, I'm just not going to tell you what I do to get ready for body shots. And look at Arturo's face.
Clean that off. Come on. Take that out. I got that.
Stop moving your head. You're just standing in one spot now. You understand? Come on, give me a drink. Standing in one spot. Don't stand in one spot for me, okay?
Yeah, no,
look, yeah, continue to move your head. You got to move your head, baby. You're not moving your head. You stop moving your head all of a sudden. Look.
Okay, Joe.
Use the jab a little bit more this round, okay? Give me the jab a little bit.
Come on. You must hit him in the cup. If he hit you in the cup, you hit his ass. This man is desperate. The man is winking, blinking. The man is hurt. The man is cut. Get out.
You listening to me? Punch, step around. Punch, step around. Stay the body and uppercut. Body and uppercut.
Good left hand here by Robinson. Left, right, middle. When you go to a lot of fights, all you do is get a little older watching the fights. In Gatti's fights, you can hardly breathe.
To give you an idea of what the action has been like between these two guys, round 4 was a relatively slow round, and still, they combined to throw nearly 150 punches and to land more than 60 of them, almost all power shots.
That's all I think they throw.
Gatti with a little burst of energy now to begin round 5.
Philly fighters have been fighting Jersey fighters for years in fights like these.
Oh, what a vicious left hook by Gatti. Robinson against the ropes and not drawing. Now he springs off to throw the right hand lead. And Arturo gets hit flush again and again.
Yeah, Pasquale, like I told you, Jim, he always plays Pasquale, this guy, Robinson. They're punching each other's legs and everything.
Well, there's an old saying, if you beat a guy once, you can beat him twice. And right now, Robinson is beating Gatti twice.
Which places in question Gatti's future, certainly at this level in the sport.
Well, 1998 could turn out to be a lost year for him. Except in his wallet. I'd say he's the only fighter beside Mike Tyson that it really doesn't make any difference whether he's got a title or not because of his appeal. But you got to win.
Oh, good combination by him.
Yeah, Tyson's only lost 2 in a row.
So far, the fighters in both fights who had a little movement, a little quickness, have been dominant.
Yep. Speed kills. Vargas's speed killed Yori Boy Campos tonight, and Robinson's speed is doing the same to Gatti.
Well, I can guarantee you Gatti won't be quitting on the stool.
5 rounds in the books. Complete dominance so far for Ivan Robinson as he looks for another victory over Arturo Gatti. There's the work facing Joe Souza, the cut man, in Gatti's corner. Nothing new about that. We'll show you what his left eye has looked like in various earlier fights, going back to his first bout with Tracy Harris Patterson in 1995. You can see what the left eye looked like there, along with the swelling around the right eye, versus Wilson Rodriguez in March of 96. Unbelievably, he came back to win that fight by knockout. The cut against Manfredi cost him the fight eventually. It was stopped in the 8th. And, of course, that's the way his eye looked in the closing rounds against Ivan Robinson 4 months ago.
Okay, get down from me. Get down from me.
No, don't stop.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
No, come on. Everything got to go out.
You letting this guy...
He's got the right cut, man. Joe Souza once told me that he loved big cuts. He loves them. Souza and Gatti are a good match. Souza once told me that when he was in the Army, his job was testing parachutes. You can imagine that.
Roy, Arturo Gatti is starting to lunge and push his punches. They don't have snap anymore. What's happening?
His arm's getting a little bit weary, but he does bring one when it's time to bring a snapping punch, Jim. That's one thing about Arturo. He always can bring one when it's time to bring it. But right now, his arm's getting a little weary. He's not seeing big openings, so he's not throwing these big punches now. He's trying to find himself an open like right there. Then he rushes the punch, like that body shot.
He crouches to go to the body and lands a big body shot with the left hand.
He rushes him only when it's time to rush him. And that's a very conservative way to fight. Actually, I should say very economical way to fight. Don't waste the big punches.
Right, it conserves energy.
Yeah.
Until the moment comes. Gatti's just going to have to hope that a moment comes. Esteves with the second warning for low blows. Still no point deduction.
You ready? You ready? Yeah. Come on, let's go. Right there. Right there. Bring it up top.
waiting for the opening, firing those uppercuts that Roy Jones told you would score.
That has been his most effective punch against Arturo Gatti.
Landing a right cross. Gatti trying to get to Ivan's body. Left hook lands for Robinson. Now Arturo with some destructive work. Robinson still effectively taking the best Arturo Gatti can hit him with, and Gatti may be getting a little frustrated.
Yeah, I think that shot hurt Gatti bad.
Flush uppercut landed for Robinson. Round 6 comes to a close.
You're surprised they know which way the corners are after a round like that.
Put your legs out. Stop your foot up and down. Stop them up. Stop them up. Breathing now. Breathing.
Every day in the gym. Every day in the gym we work on you getting down, right? Getting down, and when you get inside, you go body, and you go uppercut, then you start the body, right? Okay, you're not doing that. You're too desperate, okay? Joe, look at his lip.
Okay, no problem.
Can you open me up?
Yeah, sure.
I'm fine, I can tell you.
All right, don't breathe, don't breathe.
Don't stand straight up. You're getting up too high. Come on, get down for me, all right? You got to get down for me, all right? Move your head. When you get in close, you got to stay to the body. You're hurting this guy in the body. You're killing this guy in the body. Then you got to uppercut.
Robinson has even been getting the best of it in the infighting, as that uppercut clearly shows. If you're fast from the outside, you can be fast from the inside.
Robinson's brave on the inside. He's quick, and when he sees an opportunity, he capitalizes. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Jim, 59-55, 5 rounds to 1. Ivan Robinson. Jim, let me tell you something. This is very interesting. If this fight gets stopped by the cut on Arturo Gatti's eye, we go to the scorecards to determine the winner. Because Benjy Esteves called it a headbutt. So if the cut gets worse, we go to the scorecards. Also, I think they ought to move Joe Souza inside the ring to work on Gatti, give him a little leverage so he can work on a cut and work on the swelling.
You mean between rounds, not during the fight.
Get Lou Duva on the apron now and put Souza in front of the fighter where he can get some leverage.
I was just getting ready to say, if Lou Duva has to leave the ring for Joe Souza to come in there, I'm not entirely certain it's going to happen. Duva's a big security blanket for most of the fighters he works with. Of course, is with its 3rd different head trainer in as many fights. Now that Ronnie Shields is in charge.
It's just amazing what Gatti puts himself through. I wouldn't want to be in a war and go against a platoon of these guys.
And you see Gatti trying to give Ronnie Shields the bending and dipping that Shields was looking for and trying to work to the body. But all the time that Gatti is looking for openings to do this, Robinson's just hitting him and hitting him and hitting him upstairs. Look at Ivan work. Esteves lets him get away with them.
He tried to punch Robinson in the legs to stop Robinson from being able to move.
He's landed a couple punches down on the hip and the thigh.
He's beating his legs so that he won't be so mobile. And it works.
I bet you guys have tried to do it to you.
Yes, it happened to me all throughout my amateur career and my professional career.
Right cross. Scraped across Gatti's chin by Robinson. Now that one lands on the kisser. And that one. And that one. Gotti just eating right hands here.
Taking a terrible beating at this point. Too much. Too much.
I don't care how much you love Arturo Gatti, and so many of these fans do, it can't be fun to watch him take a beating like that.
I'm gonna tell you this, right? If you start taking too many punches, I'm gonna stop this fight. You understand?
You're standing straight.
8 rounds. You're standing straight up. What you doing? You've been working on getting down, and then keep punching. All right? Look, I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't stop moving your head, I'm gonna stop the fight.
It's the same thing.
Okay?
Yeah, look at the doctor. All night long. You way behind. Now you better go out there and start whipping on this boy real good, or we going home with a fucking loss.
Here's Robinson torturing Arturo Gatti from the outside, just popping him, belting him.
Well, and Butch Cafe, trainer for Robinson, without benefit of our videotape, of course, says to Robinson between rounds, you're way behind. You better go out and start whooping on this boy or we're going home with a loss.
I think Robinson looked at him like he was a little bit nuts. He said, you're kidding me.
Motivating the fighter. This after a round in which CompuBox counted Robinson throwing 117 punches and landing 77 of them.
I don't know that we've ever had a round in which a fighter has landed 77 punches.
That's just torture.
You know, we've talked about Archie Moore a little bit tonight. He fought a famous fight against the top Philadelphia fighter, Harold Johnson, losing the fight, knocked out Johnson in a late round.
Left hook landed for Gatti. Of course, with Robinson, you never know when he's really stunned or just playing possum.
Yep, and that's very smart on his part.
Now there's the low blow for which Gatti's going to lose a point. And to our eyes, of course, it would hardly matter. Arturo seemingly well behind on the scorecards anyway.
Exactly right.
So Esteves takes a point from Gatti. And Robinson heels over to get his breath. And the punch hit him in the leg, incidentally, not in the cup. So I think Ivan is acting a little bit here, as he's known to do.
Get him a break, play a possum again.
Neither of these guys is what Archie Moore used to call a Yamadou.
Are you ready?
What's a Yamadou?
I knew you were going to do that, Jim.
Let's go. Let's keep
A
it.
Yamadou, Archie used to say, is a kind of a punk, a tomato can. You might have gotten that expression from Tasmania or someplace. But neither of these guys is a Yamadou.
And incidentally, you asked when somebody had landed 77 punches in a round, and CompuBox comes up with the info. Michael Spinks landed 84 of 101 against Jerry Cooney in the 5th round of their fight, also here in Atlantic City.
Come on, nice and clean. Come on. Let's keep it clean. Let's work.
Right now, Gatti is about as immobile and as easy a target as Jerry Cooney.
Okay, let's keep it clean.
Not a pretty picture from Gatti's, or from Robinson's point of view. I mean, he can see Gatti and it isn't a pretty picture, but it's a pretty picture for him.
The last fight was a split decision, as one of the 3 judges, perhaps enamored of the Gatti mystique, had him winning the bout. Arturo banging to the body as Ronnie Shields asked him to do. Robinson shaking his head as if to say, too little, too late, my man. I've beaten you up again.
Oh, good body shot by Arturo.
Arturo's alive and well again as he bangs away at Robinson. And I think those body shots have suddenly taken a lot out of Ivan.
I know they have. They've been taking a lot of them all night. And now the leg punches are also catching up with Ivan. Those leg punches, the reason Arturo was throwing so that Ivan couldn't run from these body shots. But Ivan's smart. He'll play partner. He'll get himself back together, I think.
Gatti's best round by far.
A big rally.
just when we were about to count him out.
All right, now that's the kind of rounds you got to keep giving me, okay? Look, keep doing that. You go to the body, now look. Just try to hit him too hard to the top. Go to the body and throw uppercuts. The body uppercut, body uppercut. Keep your head moving like that. Keep your head moving, okay?
Look, you're letting the guy work. He's working your body and you're letting him work. You're standing there.
He ain't fucking hitting my body. Hit me low.
I don't care where he hit me. He's working.
All right, okay, cool.
You ain't. This man working his butt off. The man's desperate.
Stop him.
The man is working. And you looking at it. Come on, let's go out there.
3 warnings, or 2 warnings and a loss of a point. That was in the 4th round for Gatti. That's in the 6th round. And there in the 8th.
But here's what the body shots have done. After throwing 117 punches in the 7th round, Robinson was reduced to throwing only 63 in the 8th. And now Gatti is clearly the aggressor. And Robinson comes back.
This is getting very dirty in here.
And it's ugly.
This is Rocky. This is Rocky 6.
It almost hurts to watch it.
The body shots have given Gatti a chance to stay in the fight. And who knows? Who knows?
But Robinson is smiling at Gatti's corner.
Esteves wants the doctor to look at Gatti's cut.
What is this? Is there any difference in the cut?
I don't see how anything's changed. Same as ever, but Esteves suddenly decided that the doctor should look at the cut, and Gatti's infuriated because he thought he had Robinson going with the body assault.
As he should be.
Another great left hook to the midsection by Arturo.
Well, this is what the fans came for.
Gatti he landed 24 of the first 28 shots he threw in this round. They were all power shots. He hasn't thrown a jab in about a week. Arturo Gatti fighting desperately to try to retain his status in the sport of boxing.
Doing what he needs to do. Oh, good shot.
People could watch this fight for about a week and a half. They couldn't fight this fight for that long, but...
Hey, I'd like to have the video cassette rights to all 20 rounds of Gatti Robinson.
Yeah, we're in round 19 right now.
Yep, and it's all been non-stop warfare.
Gatti is getting away with a lot of low blows here.
He sure is. I can't believe that no second point has been deducted. Because from this point forward, every low blow is supposed to occasion the deduction of a point.
Well, give Robinson credit for not wanting the easy way out. They're not hurting him, so he's not stopping. He's continuously fighting.
He's hitting him right in the mighty on the front of his trunks.
I don't think he's hitting it quite that low.
They're going to go to the 10.
Start popping on that eye, man. Just take this boy out here with TKO. Man, work on that eye.
round. Listen to me. The last round. This is it. You got to stop this guy. All right? It's the last round. Last round.
Look at those
last round. Last round. Let's go. Arturo, you got to keep your hands moving, all right? Look, stay down low.
In a similar circumstance on August 22, Arturo Gatti came close to scoring the miracle knockout over Robinson. He never threw the body shot that might have closed the deal, as you pointed out, Roy Jones, earlier this evening when we looked at the tape.
That's right. You see what effect the body shots have had this time already. But Robinson has fought a beautiful fight tonight. Both fighters have fought a beautiful fight. I love to see these type fights. These two guys are great for one another.
Two former training partners and good friends. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 9?
Jim, 6-2, 1 even, 87-83. Ivan Robinson. I mean, I think they just, Ivan's out-punching him, out-landing him. Arturo Gatti getting away with murder with those low blows. The one round I have even is the 8th because Gatti won it and Benjy Esteves took away a point. That becomes a 9-9 round, so that's the even round. So far, Robinson by 4 points.
Haven't we been in this movie before?
Several times. Gatti stalking and assaulting. Robinson stopping him momentarily with the left hand. Gatti has had one 10th round knockout before in his career. He knocked out a fighter named Richard Salazar in the 10th back in 1994. Good left hook inside by Ivan Robinson, fighting under control in this 10th round. Robinson's corner asked for a TKO. I think the mighty Ivan knows that if he finishes, he's likely to get the decision again. And now up on his toes, jabbing and boxing for the first time in a few rounds. But here comes Gatti. Desperate, exhausted. First tackle of the night.
Well, something happened to Gatti's head, though.
He rubbed his eye into the canvas, it seemed.
Comment.
Some valuable time when he fell down on the canvas. Hard to see him getting it done now. He hasn't invested in body shots in this round to set up the upstairs assault. Ivan Robinson willing to trade with Arturo.
I'll tell you what, Ivan's throwing some good body shots himself in this round, Jim.
Suddenly, Gatti has a spring in his step. Where did that come from?
That body shot may have hurt Gatti.
Robinson giving back as good as he's getting. Gatti not able to wobble Robinson here the way he did in the 10th round of their first fight.
I think the main reason Robinson has been able to win these fights, and we assume he's won this fight, is his ability to take a punch as well as to give one.
Well said. Ivan Robinson and Arturo Gatti have completed 20 rounds of blistering warfare in 1998. And for the second time, it would appear that Robinson has earned the victory. But of course, you take nothing for granted. This is the same room in which Shannon Briggs got a decision over George Foreman last year.
What I remember is that Archie Moore, after one of these fights, the first words out of his mouth in the press conference would be, "Was that entertaining, fellas?"
And tonight's answer would be a resounding, "Oh yes." Harold, let's take a look at your card round by round.
Okay, Jim, I got it 96, 93, 6-3-1 in rounds. Ivan Robinson. I would hate to see the judges steal it from Ivan. I thought he fought his heart out. He certainly outpunched him. He outboxed him. I mean, he outmaneuvered him. Beautiful ring generalship. He just got out of the way of a lot of Gatti's hard shots. He wore Arturo Gatti down, left him a bleeding, battered, bloody mess. I mean, to me, it was all Ivan Robinson. Arturo Gatti certainly got away with a lot of low blows in that fight. I just think Ivan Robinson dominated him enough so that he should get this decision.
But if there's a bad omen in Harold's scorecard for Ivan Robinson, it would be that Harold gave the 9th and the 10th rounds to Gatti. If some of the other judges had it closer than you did, Harold, and they agreed with you about the closing rounds, I always say, who knows? Now let's go to ring announcer Mark Barrow for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge George Colon scores it 95-94. Judge Joseph Pasquale scores it 95-94. And Judge Gene Williams scores it 97-92. All to the winner by unanimous decision, Ivan Mighty Robinson.
So another huge victory for Robinson, well deserved. And after Arturo Gatti's 3rd consecutive loss of 1998, inevitably you must wonder where his career goes from here. Final punch stat numbers, and you will see the lopsided numbers in favor of Robinson, landing 98 more punches, throwing 102 more punches, connecting at a higher percentage, generally controlling the mood and texture of the fight. Power punches, and Robinson held his own there too, landing 2 more than Gatti, throwing 35 fewer, landing at a higher percentage. Arturo Gatti doing a great job in the closing rounds of the fight to keep it competitive and stay alive with a chance. Larry Merchant stands by now with the winner.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ivan, was this easier than the last time?
Why would you ask me that? Now, you know that. I mean, you know, I can't take nothing away from Arturo. Maybe he was 100% tonight. He was a lot better than the first fight. I told you that yesterday.
In what way?
Well, I told you that he was probably going to, I figured he was going to come in and try to still slug. Ronnie and them did a great job with him moving his head. I couldn't hit him as much on top. He was getting under the shots. But a lot of those shots wasn't body shots, Larry. They was cup shots.
Well, let me ask you about the body shots. You told us you had a secret to prepare for body shots.
And I'm still not going to tell you the secret. But he hit me with some good body shots. They was particularly because I didn't see him. Arturo's a great body puncher. He hurt me at times.
You said this fight was personal. He hit you in some personal places and hit you a lot.
Well,
here.
you know, if you look at the strategy of the first fight, you figure Arturo was going to try to slow me down because I had the quicker hands, I had the better movement. But, you know, we'll go back to the gym and we'll work on that.
Is Shane Mosley the lightweight champion next for you?
Whatever HBO want to do, whatever the Duvas want to do, whatever my team want to do, we'll take, you know, whatever comes forward. I mean, I believe that I'm elite with the top champions out there. If Shane Mosley want to fight me, come on, Shane.
Well, not many people want to say, come on, Shane. Thank you, Ivan Robinson.
Thank you, Larry.
Jim?
All right, quick question, Roy Jones. Shane Mosley is a better, sharper, quicker fighter than Arturo Gatti, who also hits hard. What could Robinson do against him?
He'd have to try to box him just like he did against Gatti. Robinson is a superb boxer. He's shown twice that he can stand there. He even showed a better ability to take a punch this time than he did last time. So he's constantly improving, and I think that would be a beautiful fight.
Let's go back to Larry Merchant with the valiant Arturo Gatti.
Jim, as Ivan Robinson and his team were leaving, one of his handlers said, "We don't want to fight this guy again. He's a maniac." But again, you've lost 3 terrific but losing fights this year.
I don't know what to say. I did my best. Ivan's just a good boxer. You know, I think I started too late again, and I kept going off my game plan.
You hit him in the body a lot. You even hit him some good shots. Has anybody you've ever fought taken a punch as well as him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good defensive fighter. I don't know if he can take a good punch, but he sure does block good. you know, and that's what makes the difference of this fight. You know, he's got good defense, and I really have a hard time connecting my punches right on him.
Are you going to reassess your career now, whether you want to keep fighting at this weight, whether you want to keep fighting, and how you're going to continue?
Larry Mitch and I really don't know right now. I just want to say hi to my mom in Montreal, Canada. I'm going to go see her for Christmas, and after that, after New Year's, we'll talk with me and Lou in the main event to see what I'm going to do, move up or stay at 135. I am going to fight again, and I think I still have it. And Ivan Robinson is such a good boxer. You know, I can't take nothing away from him.
Thank you again for a terrific fight.
It's a pleasure being on HBO, and thank you very much, Larry.
Thank you, Arturo. Just as final word, we've mentioned Archie Moore a lot tonight, and I feel obligated